Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. We're going to do a Cancerian read. I just did a Pisces and I'm like all energized, so instead of feeling depleted and tired. And so, the sickness is going away, which is good. Cancerian dark side of their moon. Kind of been excited about this one because that's your ruling entity. So I was a good girl. I did Scorpio and Pisces first. I don't have many Cancerian placements, but fascinating, beautiful creatures. What do they need to know about their dark side of their moon? See? That's how you know there's more. Holy Christ, Mary Mother. Do we do this? Alright. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Jeez. Oh, the bottom. Oh, no. Okay. Those fell out the lastest. These were first. Sweet Jesus, Cancer. Maybe like Pisces. Oh, Justice in the upright. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. King of Pentacles. These. This one. High Priestess. Boom. Shakalaka. Five of Pentacles. Four Swords. Five of Cups. The Emperor in reverse. Son of a monkey's butt nuggets. Okay. Okay. Three of Pentacles. The Empress. Page of Cups. The Lovers. Seven of Wands. Ooh, 10 of Wands. And you've got the Star and the Nine of Cups, both in reverse. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have the Five of Wands. Oh, Five of Swords in reverse. Dang. Temperance in reverse. Okay. Blasted. Okay. Cancer. Okay, so you're having a little bit of a similar problem to Pisces as well. It's too many burdens here, and you're like, how hard do I gotta fight for this union to happen on the inside? So this is your subconscious energy, the stuff that you don't see that you don't see. So I can see how this is not going to be my most popular whatchamacallit, but I was called to do it, so here it is. Here it is, Cancer, in all its glory. Okay, so justice that you don't... I get this is divine justice here. No, I know typically judgment comes with the wings and whatnot, but this is... So, I know you can't really see it, but there's an opening in the clouds here, and there's, like, light coming down. Now, in film, in, like, when you're making a movie, that particular type of lighting on the film is called the God lights. That's why I'm saying this might be a divine thing, divine justice, where you're not going to have to work towards much. It's just going to take its sweet old time, and you're using your intuitive waters to navigate here. Sorry. Intuitive waters to navigate, and it is leaving you out in the cold. And you're not stressing too much about it because I feel like you've been here before. And there's your, whatchamacallit, because Emperor in reverse, Five of Cups. See, this is really funny because, like, this is how this is showing up. You've got the Empress and the High Priestess, and then the Emperor here, mirroring each other. So something's just a smidgen bit out of whack. on the masculine side of things. This does not mean that you have to be feminine or masculine. Your masculine energy is a little put out. Okay, a lot of it put out. You're healing from it. You're healing from it. But this particular figure here, I think I've said this before, she's holding the little crumbly in her hand here that's in the similar shape of Australia upside down. I don't know. Barren wasteland, prisoner, the old version of Mars, if you will. Oh, and she clearly has ripped the beating heart out of this man's chest and used it to the fluids to dye her dress. And you're healing from it, but dang if it didn't set the masculine off on a tangent. So, yeah, be careful that your feminine energy here has a little bit more you're trying to get your feminine to move forward here is what I'm seeing. You're bringing your intuition in, which is the feminine energies. And it's okay. So when you have these types of Willy Wonka crappy crap energies that are just upside down and not allowing you to find your balance and happiness, you're gonna be upset. That's reasonable, right? You're gonna be, which piece do I have to freaking manipulate and move here in order to get back in balance? Okay, don't panic, Cancer. So you are like feeling, because you got 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, and then you've got the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands here. So your entire being right now is like, okay. And it's not just in your emotional space, which sometimes might be a little bit foreign to Cancer because you are very natural water beings, right? You're very accustomed, if you will, to having to navigate that consistent imbalance in your waters if you're not keeping tempered. But your water is in the upright here. As are your Pentacles and your Swords. It's so the 4 of Swords in the upright, the 5 of Swords is in the reverse. Okay, but this to me says you're healing and bringing love and purity into the situation. You're letting something about your toxician die. So we think of this as purity, the white rose. It's actually not. It is the white rose is the traditional funeral flower. So there's something that you are letting pass away here. Okay, you've got white feathers, which again speaks to this. I think maybe it's a thought. And she's covering an eye with the rose. So I think it's a thought pattern for you. I think it's very much a mental thing that you had set your sights on. And you're like, okay, it didn't work. How do I... You know what's particular about this? These pieces don't even fit on the chessboard of her skirt. They don't even fit. They're out of place. So maybe stop trying to maneuver those desires where you think they're supposed to go. And start getting those fires and desires within you burning again. You have the energy. You just need to upright it. Okay? Which means you're going to have to work. But then, you ready? You ready, Cancer? Oh. There it is. There it is. Now, if this, I don't think this is official the Cancer card, but it should be. Okay, because this is the mother of all mothers. This is the accumulation of all the queens in one, right? And you're listening to your guides here. You're listening to your spirit. You're listening to your inner fishy fish. Okay? The intuitiveness. Pisces is fish energy, right? And their intuitiveness is ridiculously huge, usually, if they're allowed to develop those skills, right? So listening to the fish, listening to your intuition, okay? And you've got the lovers here, divine union, and I get that's with yourself here, not an outside entity, because once you pair with yourself, then the outside entity comes in, and you're willing to fight for this lovely little word right here, which says love because it's a power. But then you've got to drop some burdens here and complete the cycle. Okay, so you're carrying too much by yourself. Now, I get that you want to protect your heart space and keep love sacred. That's totally, completely understandable, Cancer. Totally. You want to keep all those beautiful things sheltered and nurtured and cared for. That's Cancerian energy in its purest form. Okay, is the mother, the nurturer, the spring, right? The spring that naturally bubbles up from the earth without question. Time for a little snicky snack. Okay, so we have the energy already here on the table. You don't have to dig for it. You don't have to go searching for it. It's already here. You just have to learn to bring it forward. Okay? And your Knight of Cups here in reverse, with the Star in reverse, the reason why you're so emotionally possibly ticked off here is because you're not looking at your dreams. You're not even looking in that direction. They're right here in front of you, but you're like, I don't see them. And that might be your masculine in reverse. That's why you're not making movement, which is masculine, movement towards your dreams. I feel like they're here in your subconscious, in your primordial waters, okay? And you're just refusing to even acknowledge them. And it's not gonna do your Emperor in reverse anything. You just got to start moving forward with these things, despite what's also happening. So oftentimes we think to ourselves, as humans, when we're going through a tumultuous situation of healing and upheaval and all these different freaking fives coming at our faces, that we don't have enough reserves to even acknowledge the fact that we have dreams, we have wants, we have desires, we have emotional needs that are going unmet. Okay? So it's great to be in this energy and being all nurturing and loving and kind and beautiful. But it doesn't mean very much if you can't put these on the upright. Okay, Cancer? Don't lose sight of that. We need your authenticity. We need you to be in your sovereign, safe self and demonstrate for the rest of us how to navigate these emotional waters. Okay? Because you're coming off with it here. You're doing the best you can. But you just need to work a little bit, teeny tiny bit more. So this came first. This is the first side of the outcome. Okay? And then you got these two cards. You just need to work on this. Just a little bit. Acknowledge it, talk to it, interact with it. Okay, send it a message, send yourself some love, send your dreams a little bit of a string. Be like, okay, I can't give you my all right now, but I can leave a little bobber in the water. I can throw you a little cricket or a worm or whatever it might be. Okay, just feed it a little bit, just give it a little something every single day. Pisces, Cancer. So look up where your Pisces is in here. because your Pisces is trying to speak to you. Holy shiznick. Okay, so even if you don't have any planetary placements in your Pisces right now, who's moving into Pisces? Something's moving into Pisces. Saturn's moving into Pisces. So I would find out on the internet how that's affecting you directly in your natal chart. You can do that, by the way. Just go to the right, whatchamacallit. I don't have any cancerian placements, so I don't quite know how that's... But Saturn is moving into Pisces right now, out of Aquarius and into Pisces, which is not its home base any longer. So there's going to be a little bit of a tumultuous transition there. Hence why Pisces had a bomb read. Okay, so... okay. That makes so much more sense now. Because if this is... So Saturn is the instructor, okay? Everybody's like, it's a malefic planet, everybody run! Dude, if everything was sunshine, peaches, and rainbows, and cream, would we advance at all as a species? No. This is a stepping stone. And you've got all the right bricks here to build yourself a stairway, okay? You've got it. It's just like Saturn's like, could you reorganize that, please, to build a step instead of a flower? Could you get your little birdie birds there to help you out and build like a structure? Okay. Hang on. Let me see. Okay, so we've got a structure here. We've got a structure here. We've got a structure here. Okay? Structure. Sort of, kind of a structure. Okay? So you okay? So take these and build yourself a solid foundation. Okay? Emotionally and intuitively. Okay? Build yourself a solid foundation here. Okay? So this needs to be worked on. Get yourself emotionally solid foundation along with your dreams and your goals and your aspirations. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay. So Saturn in Pisces. Let's think about that. I'm trying to rack my brain, trying to remember. So Pisces, primordial ocean, right? That's a long way for Cancer to go to build structures around, right? Because Saturn is asking you to look at where you're lacking in discipline, look at where there's chaos in your life, and hone it in, discipline it, give it structure, give it meaning, give it some sort of boundary, right, to operate itself in. Okay, and that operation is Pisces. Now, Pisces is the ocean in the water sense of the zodiacal cycle that goes. Okay, speaking on too much things all at once here, but you are the spring, Cancer. You're the natural spring that comes up out of the earth, okay? And if you've ever just sat with one of those, even if you sit with a stream of water, a creek, a little trickle or a river, whatever, just sit and watch all of that water moving past. That's a freaking lot, and it's been going on for millions of years. I don't know about you, but to me that's magical. And that is the gift that you have to give, is a never-ending source of flow, a never-ending. That's holy bejesus. You think about all of that continuously coming forth, springing up, giving life to all of these different forms all of them can use the same force, the same life force energy, which is water, to thrive and live off of. I know I'm getting way deep into this, but when you're experiencing that up well, and then you're ignoring the beauty of it and the power of it, it's going to cause all of this. Okay? So don't ignore that anymore. Okay? So this is just a transition for you to simply understand that you, even though it's moving into Pisces, which is the ocean, okay, which is the furthest away from your little spring, right? Oftentimes, not always, but the spring turns into creeks, and then it turns into rivers, and then it leads to the ocean, right? And all those little in-betweens, gullies and whatnot. So you feel like you've got a long way to go now, but you don't, because it's right here. It's already in you. You already have access to it. You're just not working on it. You're not seeing it that way. And you feel like it's taking forever here. But it's right here at your fingertips. It's right here. The divine connection, and you're going to fight for it. Okay? To bring something to life here. And it doesn't have to be a baby. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So don't forget your dreams and your own emotional fulfillment here. That's all you got to work on here. It looks like a lot, but it's really, really not. It really isn't. And it feels like you have a far enough way to go. And it is going to move in slow. You've got the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles here. So it is going to move in slow. This transition from Saturn in Aquarius to Saturn into Pisces, which will remain for the next about 3 years. So it might feel like it's moving slow, but it's giving you time to gestate here. Okay? Don't panic. It's coming. Work on these beautiful things that you already have. They're just waiting to be tapped into. That's it. That's all. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing toxic about you. You just need to tap into these sources that you have and start looking at them from maybe a different perspective. Right? Seeing these two entities and saying, okay, how can I get them to work together? How can I integrate these into one another? Rather than demonizing the dark or demonizing this or demonizing that, saying, okay, how can I take these energies and make them healthy and work for me in the best way possible? Okay? Work out for me. Work in the highest good of myself and everyone else. When you can start asking yourself those questions and just put one foot in front of the other, Cancer, you're going to get there way faster instead of beating yourself up over cups lost. Because oftentimes these cups are the very things that were holding you back. Okay? Oftentimes we mistake these spilled cups for something that we're supposed to have in our lives, but we somehow lost them. The universe never destroys anything that's meant for you. Ever. It's just not. It's not naturally possible for the universe or for life in general to take something away from you that's meant for you. And sometimes that can be a really harsh reality. And I understand that. And I'm not saying that you need to deny that these cups meant something to you. I'm not saying they don't mean anything. I'm saying that this is a natural part of life and it happens for everyone. So A, you're not alone. B, there's nothing wrong with you. And C, you just gotta reach out for a little assistance here. Ask your little buddy birdies to be like, hey, then you've got this little guy, okay? Little happy helper in a cup. I don't know if that means you go get a cup of tea. Just consult a cup of tea, not don't put a fish in it, but you know what I mean. Okay? Or maybe you have a Piscean friend. I'm getting that here. Maybe you have a Piscean friend. Or maybe you have a friend or somebody with air in their chart that knows how to get stuff done. I don't know. What I'm telling you is this is resources to me. This is minds and hearts that are willing to be there for you. Okay? That's what I'm getting from those two cards. You do have people that you can reach out to and that are more than willing to help and assist. Okay? Even if it's just like unburdening yourself with all the vibes you got going on here. Maybe you just need to talk to somebody. And who knows? Maybe you write stuff down. Maybe that's how you get through this. I don't know. But find that avenue that gets you through this little roadblock here so you can get to this beautiful energy you have waiting for you. Pisces got a similar read. And it's all about unburdening yourself. That's why getting with people that you can commune with emotionally and on a value system structure here, because there's the 3 Pentacles. People you can talk about your value systems with, and people you can talk about your emotions with. Okay? And people who understand it, not just like, you know, oh, that sucks to be you type of energy, because that's not going to help, right? So people who genuinely listen and are curious. Okay. That's important. Genuinely listening and are curious and want to really hear what you have to say. Okay. What else? Let's pull a Dragoon card. What's Cancerian need to spitfire their way through this? Ooh. All right. Ooh, time. Yep. Has to hurt if it's healed on. Has to. There's no way around that part, unfortunately. Okay. The dolphin is the constellation in this little puppy, right on the dragoon's head. So, the wisdom of the herald said, it's all about timing. Be patient. Wait for it. Know the right place and strike while the iron is hot. Pay attention to time and how it moves and shifts and ebbs and flows. When the tide is high, set sail on your mighty adventure. Watch the rhythms before you proceed. I am always pervasive, always moving, always flowing, and unceasing. Master an understanding of my workings and grow rich in patience with impeccable timing. I may come late, but I'm always right on time. There's a time and place for everything. The General of Time invites you to think about the timing, the placing, the greater cycles, and the right moment for action. It's about time. Listen to the clock tick. Be patient and wait for just the right moment to strike. I feel like that's definitely. And with the ebb and flow of the tide of your emotions, watch what happens. Get into a moon calendar. Watch the cycles of ebb and flow with each and every different sign that it's in and how they affect you and how it relates to your placements in your chart and how this is going to be your new logos moving forward, right? Understanding how that infinity symbol takes that conveyor belt out into the ethos and brings it back into not just your life, but into everything else. Okay? And how your primordial waters of spring are carried through various forms of water and lead to the ocean, right? And maybe make it a destination thing where you get to an ocean. I've done that several times in my life, where you make it your destination is to get to the ocean eventually. And so when you can bring that into the physical realm, ha ha ha, look what I'm wearing right now. When you can bring that into your physical and see it, your understanding of those physical things as they reflect upon, your place in the universe and how nature works and how you have a function in this ecosystem as well. It's really moving. It's really powerful. And you begin to understand things on a much, much deeper level, and particular things that may have set you off, right? Don't bother you as much anymore. They just don't. You see it as a part of life. It's a part of being here and being alive. And as tumultuous as it can be at sometimes, there's always that part of life inviting you to look at it with eyes of wonder, looking at things with new and enthusiastic points of view, with new life. Okay? So maybe think about that. Maybe you can't get to the ocean. Maybe listen to some waves before you go to bed. Maybe listen to some whale sounds before you go to bed. Something to invite that into your dream time. Because if you can't get there in a physical level, you can always get there on a spiritual, mental, psychological level. Okay? So I hope this helps. You're well on your way. You just got a little bit, it's a waiting game at this point. But you're doing the work. You're putting in the work. You got the Three of Pentacles here. It's just going to take a hot minute. But you're handling it with grace and gratitude. So don't panic, Cancer. You got this. I have total faith that you are going to end up coming out absolutely glorious. It's just going to take a hot minute. Okay? I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your week and keep your flame.